Hi, I'm Chris from Up and Under, and I'm really excited to tell you about the return of the smock and the jacket. The Montane Extreme Smock and Jacket used to be around in Up and Under for many years and is an absolute classic. Ideal for people getting out of rivers and off lakes where they're damp and they need to put something on warm that's going to move moisture away from their body very, very quickly and effectively. The big advantage of this sort of jacket is that it's made of Pile and Pertex, and Pile moves moisture extremely effectively, but it also remains warm when wet, so it's ideal for bank wear. From a more mountaineering perspective, it's very, very burly and durable, using the 40 denier Pertex Quantum fabric, which gives some good water repellency with the DWR. It has reinforcement on the backs of the arms where you might well be dragging it on ledges, climbing in the winter, or resting it on the bar with an after work drink. The feature set of the classic smock is very much unchanged. The fit is on the new fit block, so it's the mountain fit block, so it's slightly better for layering than it was in the past, although Pile and Pertex works at its absolute best when it's worn directly against the skin, because it just pulls moisture away that bit more effectively, though I have to admit the vast majority of people never did this. The good thing about the smock is you've got maximum pile against as much of your body as possible, and the ability to vent at the front here and on both sides. The vents can be held in place with a Velcro tab and got a two-way zip on them, so you can vent from the top, from the bottom, to get as much venting as you want. And when it gets really wild, you can tab the jacket down snug so it sits under your backside and around the front. Montane have dropped the crotch strap, which very few people ever used and most people lost. But when you're fully battened down, it is extremely effective. You've got loads of storage in the front here, two hand warmer pockets, hands go right through. It's backed by a Charisma fleece lining, which keeps it soft and comfy and is nice for warming your hands. There's a very big chest pocket on the front as well, for dumping all sorts of things, mitts, gloves, etc. Adjustment around the neck, again, is a zip. The zip is reinforced, compressed to closure, and Velcro baffle over the zip. Nothing's getting in through that. The hood comes included in the price of the jacket, which is a remarkably good £185 RRP. The hood is removable. It's held on with very strong hoppers on both sides and then has a zip. Extremely reliable, and you always get it on in the right manner. The adjustment on the hood is significant in that it is a roomy hood. You could get a modern slimline climbing helmet under there, but equally you can cinch it down. So there is a cinch on the rear to take some volume out. There's a double Velcro baffle across the front, reinforced with press studs, and you have adjustment on the front to pull it in around the face with a stiffened peak here. The adjustment cords sit well out of the way, so if it's absolutely blowing a hoolie, they're never going to be rattling in your face. If you don't want the big baffle across your chin, and it can come up over the nose if required, again, you've got a popper on each side, and that will pop into the popper on the side of the hood. So you can always take it with you, but it doesn't have to be flapping around in your face. For those of us that aren't necessarily keen on wearing the smock, we've got the jacket version. The jacket has a full length zip on the front, It's a two-way zip, which makes it ideal for belay scenarios and also to maximise venting. Other key differences on the jacket is obviously no big chest pocket, but again you've got that fleece lined big hand warmer pockets on both sides. If I unzip both, I can show you the comparisons on the inside. With the jacket, Montane have really thought about this, and one of the biggest issues with Pile and Pertex. Pile is great at sucking moisture away from your body, but if it runs right from under the sleeve and pokes out of the sleeve, it will also suck moisture up through the sleeve, through the hood edge, and through the edge of the jacket. In all cases, Montane have continued the Pertex outer around the cuff, around the hem. They've also put the adjustment right on the edge of the jacket so that the pile again doesn't show and there's no ingress of moisture here. It also sits at the base of the jacket here, so it pulls round under your backside nicely. On the jacket, there is an additional band of fleece, again to stop moisture moving up through the jacket and in, and also on the cuff of the jacket. Just adds a little bit more comfort and performance. I think these are both fantastic products that will last for years. They're usable in a wide variety of situations. Extremely popular with staff in outdoor centres who don't want to be changing their layers all day long. They just want something that's warm, it's going to keep a lot of wind off, a lot of moisture off, and if they get absolutely drenched, it doesn't matter because it keeps you warm when it's wet. Ideal for lifting damp boats up onto roof racks, ideal for standing at the foot of the crag, no matter what the conditions. Equally, work extremely well for mountain rescue teams. We brought in the hot chili version, which has just been released this week. Ideal for occasions where you need high visibility or a team colour. Great if you're stood around with a casualty for a long period of time, having to do a stretcher carry where you might be bashed against the rocks and you don't want to be changing layers. Fantastic for that. Very popular with the MOD as well in the black and the green versions. But fantastic equally for anybody on the hill in spring, autumn and winter conditions where you just want to leave the car or the house and go all day without changing layers. One of the big reasons that we think this sort of product is coming back into vogue is due to the recent removal of nasty forever chemicals from a lot of products, which means that you're going to have to wash your waterproof jacket quite regularly in order to keep it performing at its best. So we therefore recommend, whenever possible, only use your waterproof jacket if it's actually properly raining. If it's a damp, misty day or a bit breezy and drizzly, this is the sort of thing we'd be reaching for.